Hello and welcome to Palangkaraya here in Indonesia, the capital and largest city in the central Kalimantan province of Indonesia. In fact, the largest city in Indonesia. It's actually 4 times bigger than Jakarta in terms of landmass. Great place to come, and definitely got some massive crowds. The riders being greeted by a huge reception at the airport. And that's carried on all the way through, and the riders feeling very welcome here in Indonesia. The town playing host to it is the capital of the province, actually 37 provinces in Indonesia in total. But this a relatively new city, only formed in 1957, and back then had about 900 people. Now well over 2 million people in the city. This great track they've laid out here for us. So from the start gate into the first of the wall rides, taking that right-hand turn, little bit of room to overtake as we come into the second of the wall rides, just allowing the riders to carry that speed round. Not very long straights here, not much chance to overtake, but then into the first of our doubles. A small double set, but with logs laid right through them, which makes it difficult. Up onto the top and down into the rock garden. A left and right hand line here. The left carries more speed, the right is smoother. Then into our doubles, and then a big climb to the drop down. This big drop off, it's huge. You've just seen it in shot coming back the other way, and it's so big, in fact, our camera just bouncing about on the ride. Up over the top, down the log run. This about 8 steps down, and then in towards the right hand turn into the finish. A really technical, tough course here today. I think we are going to have some really exciting racing here today. Let's see who is going to be able to take this out. My general opinion is going to be the local riders, and that is certainly being borne out. 2 non-qualifiers from the women's time trial. Hannah Beck and Marcela Lima Matos not going through. And Matos, the key loss here, because Matos, sitting in 3rd place in the series standings, was the rider we expected to really profit from not having Gaia Tormena, the series leader here. However, snap chain on the way through means she hasn't qualified. Packed heats here. You can see our 4 quarterfinals, 2 riders through into our semi-finals, 2 riders eliminated out. And it's going to be very interesting to see who can take this out. The numbers are the numbers as they were seeded in their time trial position. So, 4 quarterfinals. Who's going to take out the very first quarterfinal? And this is a packed affair, and great to see so many Indonesian riders. 3 Indonesians, 1 Thai rider taken to the start line. They are ready to go, and as soon as they are set clear, we're going to get a good indication of where the key overtaking places are on this track. There were not many options on the way through, so the rider's good to go. We're going to be into that final countdown. The whistle goes away. They go off from that start line. Very quick off from that 15-second mark. And you can see the crowds at the side here. So already leading them out, the rider with that fastest time. This is Ariska and Elia Agustina, who is leading us through at the moment. She is absolutely flying. Look at the speed around the top of that wall ride. And the gap has opened. Now remember, key thing here is the qualifying positions. Position 1 and position 2 both go through. Position 3 and 4 are eliminated. You can see the size of the boulders on that rock garden, but making light work of it at the moment. Our rated leader, well, certainly it looks to me like Riska certainly bearing that time trial time out. Very, very smooth indeed. And Indonesia with that racing. Look at the gap that's opened up behind now. The chase is on behind. I think we're going to have 2 riders clear as they come in towards the line here. So in they go, in and through. And as they go through the line at the end of lap number 1, we're going to get a time check back. It certainly looks like Indonesia's Rizka Agustina. And then it's going to be Warren Thought Prepara. And it goes in behind, 2 seconds down. It's a further 2 seconds back to the chase behind, but 1 and 2 back together here. They know they've got the lead. And look at this, the moves being made by the Thai rider down the outside. And our early leader could be in trouble here. It's no good being quick for one lap. You've got to be quick for two. And at the moment, Thailand now are with the lead here at the UCI World Cup. It's round number 7. And in round number 7, we are seeing the Thai rider now showing exactly why you've got to get the pacing right. Going to come around over that drop. It's not all that far to the finish here. Not too many opportunities to make too many mistakes, but it can soon happen. And clearly big problems here from our early leader at the end of lap number 1. The question is going to be who's going to qualify behind here. Now it's going to be an all-Indonesian fight out behind. The sprint is on behind. The leader goes through. So Fed Perham goes in and through to the final. She's joined by Agustina, who goes through there. Dewey almost got it, but you can just see the pace here of Agustina off from the line was blistering. She opened a huge gap and then eased right off, and that was really, really dangerous. Mayweight P just went too hard too soon, and that's not a good sign for later on. So let's see who is going to be moving very, very quickly today. It is going to be a very, very quick start. So here we go. The riders are on their way in the second. You can see our 15-second board going through the Diet city of Palangkaraya. Certainly very, very good today in terms of the volume of people on there. It is very, very busy down on site. And in this heat, Madison Boissier is the rider from France in the lead here. So the French rider leading out. Now she's got a very quick start. She goes well in the early time trials and heats, has faded a little bit towards the end of the races, and she can't afford to do that. Look how close this racing is here in these packed stands here in the Indonesian city. It certainly looks like it is a very, very fast indeed. So let's see who is going to go. The local riders are going to be absolutely roared on here now into this big drop-off. You can see the size of this drop-off. You've got to get that absolutely dialed. And a lot of riders having big problems in practice on the way through. Now, here we go. You can just see Boissier just pushing on here. She's got the gap here. Will she be able to hold on? She's got one more lap to do. So 2 laps, remember, 2 riders through, 2 riders eliminated at the moment. It is going to be Andy Raya who goes through. So Andy Raya goes in through behind and only fractions of a second down right on the heels here. These 2 riders are cleared by 3 seconds at the line from Ella Restignaya, who goes through in 3rd place. And it's going to be Saidat who goes through in 4th position at the end of lap 1. But we remember, all this could change if they get the pacing wrong. Now, Boissier just easing back off. They do know they've got to save energy as well. And it's a real juggling act between the riders, making sure they've got the pace and the speed to qualify, but not doing too much. But is that going to stop our home riders from pushing all the way to? I know it's not. They're going to want to take that victory. Who wouldn't on home ground? And it's an amazing course being laid out here. And I know quite a few of the crew who are down on the sites, and like guys like Jeff Cronenberg who've done an amazing job down here. Great to see a local victory in that round, because it is going to be Adin Raya who's going to go in through. Then it's going to be Boissier who goes through. So Madison Boissier goes through 2nd position. The 2 top riders qualified, and you can see from the start here, Boissier really pushes on, and a real tangle between 3rd and 4th places there. You've got to go high, and then you've got to get the transition off the wall ride down to the floor. There's no smooth way to do it. You've got to virtually jump off that wall ride onto the floor once again if you're carrying so much speed as these guys are racing. So great riding on the way through, and our local Indonesian rider in, and that really is showing that these riders have got the skills. 4th qualified in time trial and goes through, taking the lead. That's heat going to form now. Next up, the 3rd of our quarterfinals. Marion Fromberger in the black, the rider who is expected to take this out, but don't put money on this, because Latifa, Panwai, and Barecki all able to challenge here. Now it's going to be Barecki who's going to go up to the front here, I think. No, it's going to be our Thai rider again. Now the Thai riders really have come here meaning business today, and you can just see pushing on through. Takes a low line round that corner that time round. Really interesting to see that. And Natalie Panyanwan going through. So looks like Natalie leading out from Marion Fromberger behind, then Esther Barecki, then Dara Latifa going through. They came through the line, but it looks like Latifa now moving up over Barecki and looking to challenge. Here she goes into second place, and the Indonesian rider really has got the pacing right here. She's gone around Barecki. Barecki went out hard, and once again, you can just see this all going to change. Darrow's in last place as they came around at the end of lap 1. It's not going to be last place this time round. Look at this. She's going to come in towards the line. The crowd are going absolutely mad as they go in and through. Now she's got to hold this. Can she keep that position? Who is going to be able to take this out? She's opening the gap on Fromberger here. Now, Fromberger had the faster qualifying time, and she came through about 3.7 seconds for a single lap quicker. But at the moment, Fromberger, I think, just making sure she does enough to qualify. But at the moment, look at these riders into this rock garden. Amazing stuff here. This great course really is showing why the XC is such a great format. Take all the best bits of mountain biking, condense them down into a course that takes less than 2 minutes. Brilliant to see here, and certainly looks to me like the pace is on here now. Dropping down, taking that inside line where the drops are bigger, taking the left-hand turn in and through this city, jam-packed full of canals and rivers. And as we go in and through the line, it's another local win here. Dara Latifa comes in and through a 1:51.95, and that is going to be the fastest time. A very quick lead out here. And that was by our Thai rider, Natalie, leading this out here from Marion behind. But you could see the move being made by Dara Latifa, the Indonesian rider, pushed up to the inside line down that rock garden and made the move that got her in second, and then overtook coming into the big drop-off. And Dara Latifa is going to lead Fromberger through into those finals. Another great race here once again. So these riders are motoring on at the moment. We are going to move into our last of our quarter-finals here. So our last quarter-final. Now, Mariska Strauss, a rider who only has ridden one round before, put a great round when we were in Sakarya in Turkey last week. She's up against Didi de Vries. They're side by side coming in. So Strauss in that purple coloured kit, the Netherlands jersey, the red, white, and blue. That is going to be Didi de Vries now, taking a low line through that corner. It seems to be being used a lot. And our two Indonesian riders chasing hard behind here. But at the moment, it is South African Mariska Strauss who's leading out. Didi de Vries in at second position in the danger zone, because we've seen what can happen. Get this line wrong and you can get in trouble, and you'll soon find people catching up. Now, Strauss did have a lot of mechanical issues at the last round. She dropped the chain when we had a big drop off. Looks like she's got the drive. I can't imagine a professional like Strauss would have that problem 2 weeks in a row. And at the moment, it certainly looks to me like she's got that bike absolutely dialed. Pushes on those pedals, gets the drive out. So it's going to be Strauss who leads them out here. And once again, that battle for second place is incredibly tight here. And I've got to say, the local riders have this dialed. They are really pushing on here and are not respecting any of the reputations of the established riders on the World Cup circuit here, because Didi de Vries is in trouble here. She's got to push, otherwise she will be eliminated, and it will be Della Anjawulan who's going to go through. So at the moment, Didi being bested by Della with Mariska right at the front of the race. It looks to me like Normaida Saber is going to be out of contention, making it through from the time trial, but not likely to make it through unless there's a major disaster up front. So here in Palangkaraya, in the very, very amazing setting with an absolutely packed venue here, we've got Mariska Strauss leading out the final of our quarterfinals, the last of 4. Strauss should take this and move through into those semi-finals. And it looks like Didi de Vries is just going to take this. So de Vries is going to hold that spot. She managed to push back against Della Anjawulan on the way through. So a quick replay of this. And you can just see the two finalists, two riders who came through at the end, were not the two riders who challenged all the way in and round. And that is very telling indeed, because you can just see there's lots of opportunities to make a move on the way through. Didi de Vries, however, able to push over into that drop-off and take the run down nice and smoothly. And I think just doing enough to get in and through. So the women's quarterfinals confirmed through, and you can see our winners and our second place riders going through. The rest of the riders being eliminated from the competition at the quarterfinal stage. So that's the women's quarterfinals done and dusted. We are going to move on to our men's race next. So the men's time trial was a very busy affair, and a number of riders not making it through, including a lot of established stars in from that into the eighth finals. In the eighth finals, we had Linden knocked out, we had Bjorn Bermelis knocked out, we had a crasher earlier in the week, Tornilon, Castillo, Nayolo, and Attila Gerali all knocked out. Now, here we go. Quarterfinal heat number one, Messi, Bin Lukman, Mohammed in the heat, as well as Sanjaya, who will take the race out as they go through. Remember, we have in here the fastest man in that time trial, the man with the number one plate on here. He wants to take this out, but they are coming in at a pace, and you can see the speed that you can carry over the top of the setup here. It really is so quick round the top of that corner. So here we go, round that left-hand turn into the jumps, and at the moment, it is flat out. There's nothing to choose between our leading three riders here. And it certainly looks to me like Mohammed has just started to push on. So Mohammed pushing on here. But you can see Lukman, the Singapore rider, coming through here. So Riyad Hakim Lukman really is pushing at the moment. He was 17th in the South Asia Games recently. He's currently 41st in the standings, but he's a rider who we know could really be in the mix. However, Mohammed is pushing here. He does not want to let the gap go, and this is very, very tight indeed. Now, Mohammed leading this out, so it's Mohammed leading them through 45-second first lap, very, very quick indeed. And at the moment, Joseph Messi, the rider from Estonia, is the rider who is in trouble. He's out at the back of this group. They've deposited him and dropped him out the back of the bunch faster than chucking someone out the back of a plate, I think, on the way through here. He's not going to be up and challenging. At the moment, the man who's in trouble is our number one in the time trial, Randy Varela Sanyaya. But look at this, back side by side. It's going to come down to this last corner and this sprint. Who's got the big kick out of the line here? And you can just see a punch in the air there from Lukman. Lukman goes through to take a victory. Mohammed in second place, and Yaya in third. And it's going to be Messi who's going to be eliminated. And it was the start from here. Really, Messi was put into fourth place on that start going into the wall ride, and he didn't have an answer for it. You can see how high they're riding on that wall ride, carrying so much pace and speed in and through. So very, very quick indeed. So let's see who is going to take this out, who is going to be motoring. Let's see who has got the pace as they come in and through. Certainly it looks like Klausmann, Meyer, Schrotzenberger in the mix here with Fanini as well. Now, Schrotzenberger from France, the fastest of these qualifiers. He's got the number 4 plate on here, but this is going to be tight. Klausmann has his traditional fast start. The German, known for getting out of the blocks. He was the fastest starter. He's not anymore. And once again, you can see that this mix, it really is changing, because Meyer comes up into second place with the yellow shoulders, the blue base layer there. And at the moment, Fanani from Indonesia has to push. He's in fourth place, but he's so close behind Klausmann. Second, third, and fourth place. It's all up for grabs here. Great line choice there. 3 riders just scattered across like dropping marbles down a pegboard as they go down there. The riders just disappearing off in every direction. And it's meant that a big kick here has seen Schrotzenberger move up onto Klausmann and overtake him on the descent. Some serious skills there. Now, Quinten Schrotzenberger, he was relegated from the third place spot. He's dropped down in the finals at Palangkaraya after an appeal because of a move he made where he flicked another rider, and it was appealed the position, and he was relegated down. He's got some very tight moves, and it is a close game here. And I wouldn't want to bet on qualifiers as they go through. They're seriously under pressure here, but Schwarzenberger and Klausman taking a slightly wide line. The Indonesian rider up the inside here. He's put the move on Klausman here, and it could well be he's going to get eliminated. Fanani after being fourth place coming round. He could take victory. He goes over Schwarzenberger. He takes the inside line. There's no quarter given here. This is going to go down to that corner, down to the sprint for the line. And it's another home win here. And Klausman, the German, eliminated out of the race along with Meyer. And that means Fanani and Schwarzenberger goes, what a race. Another cracking race here at Palangkaraya. I'm going to get my breath back. It's absolutely frantic. Klausman's fast start, as always, gets him in key position. Where he's struggling is to get out quickly. He's got to get out fast. He's got to get out at pace, and he does that. But he then pays for it. And you see Schwarzenberger there, clearly loving this course, getting loads of air on the way through. But Fanani, I mean, what a smart ride. Has he done too much? He had to give it everything there to take that win. Right, on to the third of our quarter-finals here. We got Rita Fierro, Gigenheim, along with Busane coming through for Thailand as well. So we have got Germany, Ecuador, Indonesia, and Thailand here in Indonesia, in Palangkaraya. This is Heat 3 of the quarterfinals. The world champion Simon Gigenheim in the white with the rainbow stripes there. Oh, and the door was shut there. Indonesian rider came up on the top there. He really couldn't get through. There was no way Gigenheim was going to let him through. And Fierro in third place, another rider who has these sketchy moments on the bike. It has to be said, he's known for putting moves in. He's no worrier when it comes to putting the bike in between riders, and at the moment it looks like Vieira is in a real battle at the moment, and that is with our rider in there. Our Thai rider, that is Busani, who goes through in second place. Gigenheim, though, leading them down this descent. And that second and third place battle is the key one here, remember. We are looking for two riders to go through to our semi-finals. Gigenheimer leads at the line, and the battle behind, I think, is going to take these two riders off the pace of Gigenheimer. Fierro's looking for his overtaking move. You can see him lined up on the back of the rider. So Fierro in third place, dark blue base, yellow top, whereas the mixed yellow and blue, the lighter yellow and blue of our rider there from Thailand. So is it going to be a Busai going through? So Busai at the moment just pushes on. He's trying to get the move in here on Gigenheimer. Now look at Fierro. Fierro moves up the side. They're busy battling each other. Gigenheimer can't relax here because they're coming up pace on his wheel. They're going to be side by side coming down. And look at this. The Thai rider's got another great move there on Gigenheimer. Gigenheimer's going to go through. But again, he's not going to be in top spot. Fierro just puts his arms up. What can we do about that? Well, there is nothing he could do about that. And he's going to be eliminated here. Wow. So fast, so quick, and it really is tight here today. And you could just see coming around here, the Indonesian rider going around the top line. Gigenheimer shut the door, but the Thai rider leading it out, then dropped to third place, moves up on Fierro, then battles on. And you can see the battle here took its toll on our Indonesian rider's bike, and that is why he's eliminated. That's all part of mountain biking. Generally, it's all part, of course, of biking when you're riding the XCE. And great to see another fantastic battle. Now, it is going to be the final of our 4 heats here today. Who is going to take this out the man to watch the established stars is Theo Hauser, but we've seen that means nothing here at Palangkaraya. So the riders up and away very quickly. They're not holding it for long. Hauser on the right-hand side of your screen. Yellow helmet on the bike, goes up on the inside. Now he's going to carry some pace around that wall ride. He goes very high indeed. I think he was just leaning down in the Indonesian red, but the gap has opened already. And you can see at the moment, it's going to be Pratama who goes through. Pratama goes through the lead here, but behind it is a real battle between them. And I think House is going to have his work cut out. House really has burst onto the scene at the second half of the season. He really is going to want to move up through the rankings. He's currently in 7th place in the series overall. But look at this. going to be eliminated if he's not careful, because we can see he's been deposited down. So, and I think he's out of this race. So let's see what's going to happen as they come in and through. It is going to be a big kick here. And it certainly looks to me like some very, very interesting semi-finals coming up. The timings between them are very close indeed. So here we go. The gap has started to open at the front of the race. The battle is for that second and third spot. So House out of the race. The battle between Prayoga and Simirigong going in. So going to be interesting to see. They were very close together as they came through the line. That gap has been reduced out even further. But what a win here should be for Reynosa Aldi Pratama. He's got the gap at the moment, but he's being closed down again. You can see the pace being carried in there. And it looks to me like just carrying speed into that final bag is absolutely key here. It's going to be a victory here today for the Thai rider, who's going to come through absolutely frantic here today in the races. This is going to be a real battle as they come in and through. And what a great ride here. I mean, Reynosa, he's clearly got this course styled. He's very comfy with it, but then just eases off too much here. Great move by our Thai rider going up the inside there. So in and through the go. So the racing comes to about it is super busy here today. You can see our qualifiers going through and some big names going out. Hauser, Klausman Mayer, established stars like Fierro and Messi going out, along with a number of our local riders. However, look at those winners. This is going to be a really interesting set of semi-finals. So here we go. Hauser comes in and through the line. And we are on to our semi-finals. So our women's semi-finals. Same format, 2 riders through to the finals. The 2 losers, though, will go into a minor final on the way through. So let's get these riders up and underway. Let's see who is going to take this. The riders are ready. They're all ready to go. We are ready to go. The first of our semi-finals. So 2 Indonesian riders, 1 French woman, and the Thai rider as well on your screens. Boissier, known as our fastest starter, Augustina, with that number 1 plate, the fastest by a long way in the time trial. That means she's got to have a good start on her, but it looks to me like it is going to be our Thai rider. That is going to be Warren Thorpe, Brett Ferram, who comes through. But look at this, pushed out again, and Boissier just not able to mix it with the riders, not getting the clean start, and that means she's taking it on that wall ride, and another stack as well. And this is why you've got to pick yourself up. Anything can happen. They've got to come around these wall rides some more. These riders are not messing about. They are getting close. They're getting personal, and anyone who tells you that cycling's not a contact sport, they haven't raced XCE. Now, this has left the door wide open at the moment, and the rider it's left the door open for at the moment is Adiraya, and so it's going to be very tight here. So Adiraya goes through in the lead. Just push the glasses up there, taking the time to do that. It's very composed as you're coming through, but she's got a big gap at the moment. Now, we're not even at the end of lap 1 here. We've still got lap 2 to go. And this is going to be really interesting. Now she's got to push on here. You can see they're going in and through the line here. Now the question is going to be, who is going to keep this to the finish? They think they've got enough of a gap, but you can never discount anybody. And that is because if you have a mistake, you want time to be able to put the chain on. We've seen people qualify before putting the chains back on, getting back on the bike, twisting bars, sprinting into the finish. But at the moment, it looks like it's going to be Indonesia and Thailand fighting it out for the spot in the race win. They're going to get close together here. They both know that if they're smart, they're both going to qualify. A look over the shoulder there. So it looks like Ayo ahead of Warren Thorpe at the moment as they go through. Boissier 10 seconds down on the line at the end of lap 1. That's a big gap to make up on the way in and through. Augustina after stacking it as well, having a problem, and it certainly shows you Boissier back up to pace. But look at this. These 2 riders are going to come around. They're lapping the rider. They're going to come through with 1 lap here. So don't be fooled by the screens. It's going to be a win here. And that is going to be for Predfam coming through, Adirayana coming in. And this is where Boissier got it wrong. She's right on that junction. She didn't flick up from the lower angled section onto the higher angled section. And again, the same mistake Basically, if you're carrying loads of speed, you need to be high. If you're carrying less speed, you need to be low. There is an awkward spot in between where it transitions from one angle to another. If you've ever ridden a wall ride, you'll know just how hard that is. You've almost got to jump from one to another. It's got to be a smooth transition. Get that wrong, you're on the floor and you're cuddling the tarmac or the gravel. So, one semi-final done. Loads of crashes into our next semi-final. Didi de Vries alongside Dara Latifa, Marion Fromberger, and Mariska Strauss. 2 riders will go through to take the win. 2 riders will be pushed into the minor finals. We are good to go. I think the officials on site making sure that we don't let anybody else in and through, because this is going to be pretty tight time-wise, I think. I have half an hour of our finals gone, so here we go. 15-second bar goes, just being held. So it looks like we may well see a rider reappearing. The riders on the line have to compose themselves. They have to get this smooth, and they have to make sure they get this dialed. And just seeing what's here in the background go through. So it looks like she's picked herself back up. So across goes our 15-second to go board. Our riders primed and ready. De Vries on the left-hand side, always quick off the start here, and it looks like she's got the pace. But look at Fromberger going the black. Fromberger second in the series. Overall, it looks to be the rider who's going to profit the most from the lack of Gaia Tormena, with Marcela Matos disappearing out, and you can see a little bit more circumspect round there. So this is going to be close here, because we've got Fromberger, we've got Strauss, then De Vries, and immediately on the heels here as they come through is Latifa. And don't forget, Dara Latifa came through strongly in her heat in the time trial. Latifa 7th, putting in a faster time than De Vries in the time trial, and only just behind Strauss in the time trial. But at the moment, Fromberger and Strauss look like they've got the gap now. Big drop off coming down. De Vries at the moment trying to close the gap down, but she's got riders around, and what she's got to do is they've not got to panic here, because if you panic, you fight amongst yourselves. You don't chase hard. And at the moment, it certainly looks to me like, as they come around this turn, Fromberger and Strauss have the drive. But look at Latifa coming. The Indonesian rider crouched low over that bike, looking to try and pull some time back. Taking that low line, almost cutting the corner on the way through there, not using the wall ride that time around. And it's Fromberger from Strauss. Fromberger in the black, Strauss in that purple kit, just moving up on her right-hand side, up the inside line there. But it's going to be Fromberger who gets the pick of the lines down through that rock garden. Now Latifa's got to pull it out here. She's in touch with Strauss. She could eliminate Strauss if she goes around and push down into the minor final, but it looks like Strauss is aware of the risk coming from behind. So at the moment, Latifa trying to push in 3rd place on Strauss in 2nd. Fromberger leading this out. The battle is between these 3 riders. Didi de Vries well and truly out of the running here, I think, but it's going to be Marion Fromberger, the highest ranked rider, coming in to this round number 7, and it is going to be Fromberger who goes through. Strauss going through to the final as well, and that means that Latifa and Didi de Vries will be battling it out in the minor final. Great start here by de Vries. She couldn't hold it though. As it came round here, she was on that lower line, and Strauss took the pace up over the top. Fromberger took the race lead, and realistically, the only rider to make a change in position as there was Latifa, making a move on de Vries as they came round to go in and through to the minor final here in Indonesia. Great racing once again. Fromberger taking the win. Now, next of our semi-finals will be our men's semi-finals. So you just see our qualifiers in the women's finals, our top 4 riders through to the major final. The minor final, well, that will be for positions 5 through to 8. So on to our men's. Quinten Schrossenberger, it's going to be Fanani, Mohammed bin Lukman, Busani, Gigenheim. We're going to have in Pratama, as well as Siri Monkong going through. Who will take this? Well, who's going through to our finals? Who's going to go into that race for those minor positions? Not long to find out. About a minute and a half of racing, we're going to know who's going to be in there. And the start goes. Who's got the quickest start off here? You can just see fast move here by Lukman, who goes straight across the front. And already they are elbow to elbow behind. And another slide out here on the way through. You can just see there is no course given. There's nobody is going to take anything for granted. They are pushing on like crazy on the way through here. And look at this. The pace has picked up from the start. 3 riders left in contention here, and this is played into the hands of Luckman as they go through. So Luckman at the moment, he's got the race lead. I'm not sure it's going to be for long. Schwarzenberger is coming. He won't want to give away a chance of scoring big points in the finals. He's third in the series standings. He will want to score some massive points. He comes down here. He's not afraid to put a move in down this straight here. They are almost side by side here. So Fernani comes in and over. Can he hold it on this turn? He can. Then it's Schwarzenberger in second place. Then Luckman in third place. And it's Iza Mohammed who took that slide out, who's lost ground now. 2 very different lines. Schwarzenberger taking the low line there. Over the top goes Fernani. But look at this. Luckman's not out of this either. Look over the shoulder by Fernani. They can't relax here. They're going to go into this rock garden side by side, I think. And look at this. It was Luckman who took the inside line. He's carrying pace around the outside. He's in second place. Schwarzenberger can't afford to make a mistake either, because third place is right on his heels. They're going to drop down here now. This is going to be very close as they come down the log drop in. The tight line lets you hold position, but you can't carry too much speed. Schwarzenberger's going to come through cleanly. He puts it on the back wheel. He waits to the crowd on the way in and through. Great ride coming in through the finish there by Bin Luckman. Fernani, the rider who is going to move to the minor finals. Watch this start into this first corner. You can see as they come around there. Fernani, I think, almost trying to scoot his way around. He didn't make it up. Basically, he couldn't lean over far enough. There was somebody in the way. It meant he couldn't bring the bike up. He carried pace. He slid around the boards, holding on to the top, unable to stay in position. Absolutely mental stuff. So here we go. Our riders are working hard. Okay, so it is absolutely frantic stuff here. These riders really are trying to take control. And I think House with a puncture on the way through, just being eliminated, just getting the information from him on site. I wonder why it disappeared so quick. Now, on to the next of our semi-finals. We have in here Mr. Moustache. He is our leading rider. The question is, who is going to take it away here in Palangkaraya in the Indonesian capital of central Kalimantan province here today. So a little bit of a pause on the course. Time to draw breath and reflect so far on what's been an amazing round number 7. I've got to say, absolutely loving the course. Great to get the feedback coming in as well, saying how much people are loving this course here in Indonesia. Palangkaraya, part of the 10 races that make up the series from Abu Dhabi, Leuven, Fallon, Allen, Udenad, Sakaraya, Palangkaraya, which is where we are now. We move on to Leh in India. Then it's going to be Paris and Winterberg to round off the World Cup, with the World Championships coming in Barcelona. And we have seen bigger and bigger crowds all the way through. A real history being made here, bringing the World Cup to Indonesia. And I have to say, these riders get an amazing reception. We are having some incredibly tight racing. They are taking the battle to the established stars here. And a long wait on this line. This is going to be playing on the minds of our riders. So Mathasit Busani, Simon Gigenheimer, Renoza, Aldi Pratama, as well as Fonsiri Sirimongkong, the line. So Sirimongkong on the left-hand side, Pratama second from the left, Gigenheim in this familiar World Cup jersey stripes. He's worn that all season with pride, and he goes into our race lead now. Can he hold it? Are they going to get around this first turn safely? They do. And we do find that the riders generally a little bit more circumspect to the race after a crash, but they know they've got to finish in top spot. And we've got problems again. Another rider with a problem, another mechanical. We're going to double check, see whether or not that is going to be a puncture as well. A number of punctures, number of broken chains today. That's part of mountain biking. These bikes are pushed to the absolute limit by these riders, not just by the immense power that they're putting down, but the bikes take an absolute pummeling because the riders are racing for less than 2 minutes. You can put everything into it. The problem is it's high risk. Gigenheim is on the front now. If he gets a puncture, if he has a problem, that's the last thing we want, is the race to be decided by that. But it is part of mountain biking, whether you are out and riding. So now last rider with a snapped chain from the rider at the back of that race field as he came in and through. So, problem for the riders again. Another snap check. That's happens when they put an immense power down on the start. Change gear going through. Get that wrong. If you're a little bit clunky with it, it's going to really cause you problems. Now, Gigenheim down that rock garden in the race leader. Busani in second place. So it's Germany from Thailand at the moment. That is the 1-2 as they go through. They've got that gap on Pratama as well as Siri Rongtong, and that means that it should be a Gigenheim and Busani who go through to our finals. Here he comes. Gigenheim is going to roll in towards the line. They're looking over the shoulder. They don't want to do any more work than they have to. So in they go. Look at that. Gigenheim absolutely sucking up the oxygen as they go in and through. So Simon Gigenheim going through along with Methasit Busani. Great riding as they go through. Pratama going to come in third place at Aldi. Pratama coming through third place for him today in that fourth place. Well, that will be Siri Monghong who goes in to the minor finals along with Aldi Pratama. But got to get that bike fixed first, and that is going to mean that they've got to get this. Get it sorted up before they go in. So, confirmation of the results of our semi-finals with Schwarzenberger, Bin Luckman, Gigenheimer and Busani are going in and through right in front of this packed grandstand. In fact, the course is absolutely jam-packed all the way around here in Palangkaraya. Palangkaraya actually derived from the Dayak language and Sanskrit, and it actually means a sacred site and vast. So a big sacred site, and I think after today's race, it's going to be a sacred site for XCE. Absolutely amazing to watch. It's in the middle of the land. It's absolutely packed full of canals and rivers. It's relatively flat, and that has not stopped the designers here giving us an amazing course. We are seeing absolutely frantic racing, and really interesting to see how the riders approach these turns, approach the wall rides, making the way up over these double jumps. And the crowds that have come out today, got to say, absolutely packed. And great to see so many people making the way down, not just onto the grandstands in the posh seats, but also out and around, and plenty of people enjoying the racing down in Palangkaraya. And got to say, if you don't know where Palangkaraya is in terms of the overall scheme of things in Indonesia, if you imagine Indonesia as being a big smiling face, essentially we're dead centre, in the dead centre of the dead centre island. So the dead centre island is pretty much Borneo, and the south side of the island. Borneo actually the third largest island in the world, and certainly the largest in Asia. And got to say, pretty much dead central in Indonesia. Great to see everybody coming in and watching the racing. 2.5 million people from 900 in the space of what is essentially about 60 years. Shows you just how much this city has grown, how much Indonesia has brought people in. And got to say, amazing to see so many people making the way down to the side of the course. So after those packed races, our riders just drawing breath. They're having to get themselves back together again. And of course, the riders just having to line up for that minor final. Now, the question will be, are we going to see our minor finalists lined up and ready to go? Or are we going to see them eliminated out? It's going to be very, very interesting to see who takes this on at the front. I suspect we are going to see a really packed race. And we've got riders like Madison Bossier, Didi De Vries, Dara Latifa in the women's minor final, Zainal Fanani, Isa Mohammed, as well as Renosa Aldi Pratama in the men's minor final. All those riders, of course, going to be battling it out for position in front of a huge crowd. And if you think there's a lot of people here, it's nothing as compared to what we saw on arrival. Some amazing social media coming out from Indonesia of our riders out and around, being welcomed by the local community and bringing mountain biking to lots of people. Great to see so many kids down as well at the side, because you see everybody absolutely loving the racing down here. And I have to say that it is amazing that when we bring the racing into the cities, into the towns, out to some really different venues, you get so much support, whether that is the Belgian bars, whether it is in Indonesia here, with people packed all the way out and around Palangkaraya, the up-and-coming town in sports venue in Turkey. There was some great racing. This is what we've got coming up, our small final, our minor finals. That is to decide the positions from 5th, 6th, and 7th. Then our major finals, the women's and men's in the top 4. So here we go. Our riders are down on that start line. We have Didi de Vries, we have Dara Latifa, and we have Madison Boissier. Who will take this out? The 15 seconds to go. Board is on its way across. The riders know that we are going to see that start. 3 riders taking to the start line. That is because one rider didn't qualify at all by not finishing the lap. And that is a mechanical issue, I think. So we're going to see who's going to take this on now. Didi de Vries is going to want to score some big points here. If de Vries can keep this lead, remember she's got immediately on her heels by Boissier, a biathlete, so on the way. So we have Boissier leading out in second place now. Sorry, from de Vries. De Vries leading out the race here. So Didi de Vries leading at the moment. So here we go. Didi de Vries pushing on here. So de Vries, then Boissier immediately behind, though. I wouldn't want to put this to be a clean run in through the finish here. So here we go. It's Boissier down the centre here, wanting to have a clean run. They're side by side coming off that drop off, and you can just see the riders looking at each other. They don't want to take each other out here. We've seen so many slips and slides, some great racing here in Palangkaraya. But look at this. It is going to be our Indonesian rider who's leading them through. Dara Latifa comes through. And looks to me like she has got that start at the moment. So it is Latifa who leads over the line at the end of lap number 1. Is Boissier in 2. And he's going to be de Vries in 3. But these positions are not fixed. Latifa's come from last to first here in this race already. And there's still a lot of obstacles. So that height changes, the gains, the technical nature, the opportunities to pass a massively wide track with lots of chances to get around, and Boissier goes up onto the front now. Now, can she take this out? Can Boissier take this to the finish? We're coming into our big drop-off here. Got to get this dialed. Now de Vries makes a move on Latifa coming down on that straight. So Boissier has a little bit of room, but de Vries is coming up pace here down in towards the logs, but time is running out for de Vries to get round. Boissier is going to move up. She's 19th in the series overall. She's going to move right up those series standings with a great win here in our minor final. It's going to be 5th place overall for her. It's going to be a 6th place overall and 2nd in the race for de Vries. And it'll be Dara Latifa who comes through. And it's going to take away a 7th place. So fantastic racing. We're going to be flying onwards here to make sure we get all of our racing in. So great riding, great racing, and some amazing action in our minor final. We should, in theory, be moving quickly on to our men's minor final, which, let's face it, the race action is what we're all here for. So let's see who is going to take the race out. I think our riders already lined up down on that start line and ready to go, hopefully, which means that we're going to get a nice, quick turnaround here. Remember, of course, these riders have to perform time and time again. The effort required, kicking off from that line, massive sprint effort, big effort up all these climbs, all these kickers, landing the jumps, dropping back down again. The riders have to recover from that before the next race. Time and time again, they have to do it over and over again. If they get it wrong, if they get the timing wrong, if they don't recover fast, they're in trouble. So I think Ice Bikes, turning around your legs around on the rollers on the turbo trainer, trying to keep your legs spinning nice and quickly, making sure you get rid of as much lactic acid as possible. So at the moment, as we just await our riders on that start line, we have a little bit of a gap. I've got to give you a quick heads up on what's coming up. We've seen some amazing racing so far. So we have 7 riders. So we have Abu Dhabi, Leuven, Falun, Allen, Udinard, Sakaraya, and now Palangkaraya. That's round number 7. 8, 9, and 10, that's next week. That's on the 4th of September. We've got Paris on the 10th of September, and the whole season being rounded out in Winterberg. 3 very different courses coming up, and lots of opportunities to change position. We're going to see a change, I think, at the top of the men's competition. We saw Tito Perengane, the early leader of the World Cup, take back his series lead that had been taken away by Gigenheim last week. Already seeing Perengane out and not riding this. It means that Gigenheim come up to the top. In the women's competition, it's a little bit more clear-cut. So Gaia Tomena looking like he is up on the she's up on the top of the standings, but Gaia not here this week, and that is going to really make things interesting as we move onwards. It's allowed everybody behind to close those gaps, but not everybody has made the junction. Not everybody has come across. So here we go. Just seeing, we've got 2 of our riders. We are due to have 3 riders, but remember we have mechanicals, and it looks like we're going to go without the riders. And it is incumbent on the riders to get there on time. I think we've got a rider. I'm not sure we've got a bike. It's going to be very, very close indeed here. So here we go. We have our riders, and they're desperate for a bike. You can just see the damage that's done to the bikes, and this is one of the perils. If you're on home turf, big advantage, you got more chance of getting the kit bikes, get bikes fixed and sorted in time for the races if you have a problem. Downside, of course, is that you've generally got a lot more riders at the race. So on home turf, you'll have a lot more of your own riders there. And that means A, the mechanics are under pressure. B, there's more pressure on the spares. C, there's more time pressure on everybody. Everyone is in a situation. We've got more riders than normal, and that really affects the teams. So looks like with the sprint on, we've got all 3 riders lined up. So the man with the number 5 plate is Fanani, with the number 8 plate is Mohammed, and with the 11 plate is Aldi Pratama. Here we go. Let's see who's going to take it. Pratama on your left, Mohammed in the centre, Fanani on the right-hand side. According to our screens, I think that's what we've got down in front. I'm going to double check those to come a bit closer to us. I must be getting a bit older. My eyesight starts to go. Here we go into this, and they expect fireworks on this first turn. So in round that turn, they're going to come round in line of stem. 1 line of 3 riders. No mistakes so far. No problems on the way round. Remember, 2 of these riders have already been down on the floor. We've got problems for Nani, eliminated last time around due to issues on the way in through. But there are the 3 riders making the way down this straight. They're up on to this climb, and still nothing to choose between them. I think they're going to take 1 line pretty much through that rock garden. It's deceptive, the rock garden. In practice, the riders will be riding on the right line, the left-hand line. We're seeing generally a centre line being taken on the way through, and it looks to me like major problems there. It's going out and around the B line, around the sides there. So let's have a little bit of a look. So here we go, dropping down here, and the riders are coming around. If you don't want to take the main line on a course, which is known as the A line, you can take what's called a B line. That's generally out around the outside. It's generally longer, takes more time. It's something that the riders will do if they're not feeling that they've got the line right, that then maybe not got the strength because they've used it all up. Getting the line right is critical, and it's about making sure you've got the edge at the right place. All these overtaking moves, very, very tricky to do. And these riders making it look easy, really, compared to what it is. You are going to ride around this. We'd be struggling just to ride around it. These guys are the best in the world. And look at this. Great riding here today. The gaps are opening behind, and I think this really is going to be a clean run into the finish at this time around. So as they come up over the top, it's going to be a clear win here today, and going to be a 5th place. He comes rolling in to the line here today. So is it Mohammed comes in and through, and he is the rider who will take 5th place in the racing here today. A clear win. The battle behind between our other 2 Indonesian riders are taken by Aldi Pratama, who's going to take what is going to be a 6th place, and the 7th place will go to Fanani as they go in and through. Don't forget, of course, all these results subject to confirmation and, of course, appeals to our commissaires, our race referees. So that is the second of our minor finals, which means that we have 2 races left to go. And this is going to be our women's final and our men's final. Our women's finalists lined up and ready to go. So here we go. Let's see who's going to take away top spot. Who's going to be our top 3? Who is going to be put on to the bottom step, watching the rest of the riders on the podium. They're lined up. So will it be Fromberger, the rider in second place in the series overall, in the black? Third from the left on your screen. Can Strauss come back and take away the win here? She was good in Palangkaraya, but will she be good enough? Now gets Bolton checked there by Fromberger, and that has allowed the chase to come behind. And Warren Thorpe and Ayu behind, chasing Mariska and Marion. That order from back to front. However, this is going to be close, I think, for position. But look at Fromberger go. I think she's been saving something for the finals here. She starts to open the gap up. She wants a clean run. She's seen issues where riders got tangled up. And you can see Marion Fromberger in here looking to take away as many points as she can. Now, she was second in the time trial. She will take away the win if she can continue in this position. What she can't do is take too many risks to try and stay clear. She's got a decent gap now, so what she needs to do is be careful that she doesn't blow a tire, snap a chain. We see that time and time again. So Fromberger takes that right-hand turn here, taking the corner, looking very, very good indeed here. So here in Palangkaraya, this amazing round here in Indonesia. They're going to take that left-hand turn. So it is Fromberger with that race lead. She looks like she's going to come cruising through. I think she'll be stood at podiums and got her breath back, ready to have a chat before the rest of the riders are in and through the line here. She's absolutely flying around the course, and look how smooth she is now. She's really landing it very carefully indeed. She doesn't want to lose any time through a mistake, through a problem. You can just see that back wheel, but just bouncing about a little bit. I don't think she's got an issue with it, and it means that behind the battle is on. Now we're looking for Fromberger. Here she comes onto the finishing straight. She's going to get her arms in the air. The German rider comes through. She takes victory. She's going to take away huge points here in the series, extending her lead over third place, which was Matos. She high-fives the crowds on the way in and through. So we're going to do a Fromberger through first. So it's going to be Prefab Ram in second. And Adriana coming in. So looking very, very good indeed. That is our women's final complete. Our next race, the men's final. We're going to get these riders in and through on the men's final. And then we will be heading over to chat to our riders on our podium. So next up will be the interview. So here we go. Let's have a little. So men's race coming up. That's going to be our next race on the track. They're lined up and ready on that start line. So here we go. Men's final. So here we go. We have our riders lined and ready. Who is going to take this out? We have Bin Luckman, Busani, Schwarzenberger, and Gigenheimer. Time for our riders to show what they've got. The final race of the day here at the Eliminator World Cup. The heartbeat will be absolutely racing. And looks like Gigenheim, the last to settle on the right-hand side there. Has he got the fastest start out here? Luckman's got a quick start on the right, but he's going to go into second place. He's up against Schwarzenberger. Can they make it round this turn? This side-by-side coming in. Oh, it's so tight between second and third place. Schwarzenberger has to back right off, and he's dropped from second pretty much down into what is going to be fourth place coming out here now. Schwarzenberger, he can make the moves, but will he be able to push far enough up? He's going to be racing third and fourth place, so side by side coming up onto this line. Gigenheimer leading though. The world champion takes a tight line round the inside, and Luckman goes wide there, tries to carry the speed and the pace round, but it's allowed Gigenheimer a little bit of a gap. And immediately behind, you can see Busani has come up on Luckman, but Schwarzenberger's come through the middle of them on the way through. Into the left, taking the right. So here we go. This is going to be Simon Gigenheimer. Will he take the victory here today? He's looking good. Schwarzenberger on his wheel. Luckman in third place. One more lap left to go. They're around the next of our wall rise. I'm biting my fingernails. I'm just wondering what's going to happen if I had a chair beyond the edge of it, but there's no way I'm sitting down for this one because this is looking good. Schwarzenberger is coming on towards Gigenheimer here. Schwarzenberger can close the gap down. The world champion came here looking to take back the series lead from the former champion Tito and Perrin Gagne. And now Schwarzenberger comes on the inside. He's pushing. And he's the world champion, going to be deposited in second place. Look at Schwarzenberger go. That is just desserts after the last week. He comes up, he takes the win. Look at that, Quentin Schwarzenberger. He's got to get his glasses on quick enough to get around the corner. Then it's Gigenheimer who comes through in second place. He's going to be ruining a loss of points there. But look at Schwarzenberger, absolutely ecstatic. So great racing here today. So over they go, and look at Schwarzenberg, a very happy man. So let's give you a quick roundup of the positions. Before that, let's hear from Marion. So great to hear from Marion Fromberger here today. So here at the UCI MTB Eliminator World Cup in Palangkaraya, Indonesia, the results of our finals with Strauss taking fourth place, Adriana taking a third place, then Warrington Pretham taking second, but the winner, Marion Fromberger from Germany, who will have extended her lead in second place over third place, but a big gap to our series leader. Great racing by all of our riders, and great to see our Indonesian and Thailand riders up on the podium. So that's our women rounded out and done. We're going to move across to the men. So the men, a great race, just like our women's race, and some great racing between the men's and women's races. Amazing to see just how fast these riders have been racing. So great racing here. Got to say a massive thank you to everybody who's been putting the racing on. It's been astounding down at the venue here today. And certainly it looks to me like we are in great shape as we move on. Don't forget, our next round is going to be on the 4th of September. That is in Lep. And we are going to be getting our riders. And great to see that we've got such a great contingent of people. The big UCI podiums are going to be available. Don't forget, of course, check out all of the social media from City and Mountainbike, who put together the series for the UCI. I've got to say a massive thank you to our hosts over here and all of our hosts so far. This is round number 7 of 10 rounds. And every time we see a round, that bar is being lifted higher and higher and higher. And an amazing series. So here we go. The rest of the crowd now be making the way to the podium. And don't forget, of course, some great racing. Now, in the series standings, in the women's series standings, we have confirmation that Marion Fromberger has indeed increased the lead on Marcela Lima Matos, the rider who had an issue, snapped her chain at the start. Didi de Vries moving right up on the heels, only 4 points off, thanks to a great ride there in Palangkaraya. But Gaia Tormena is up on the top of the standing. So great to see. And the women's competition, as we move on, it's going to be very close. So let's hear from Simon Gigenheimer.
Our World Cup win. How do?
Yes, he's very, very happy because the public incredible. Incredible. Excuse me. He's very, very happy in the beautiful circuit and the run incredible.
What do you think of the Asian guys? They were so strong also.
Yes, it's very. I don't say.
They were so strong.
Yes, sir.
Do you want something to say in French to your French fans looking at home?
Yes, it's the French room. He's very happy in the Coupe du Monde of Paris. He's very, very happy in victory in the Indonesia. Allez la France!
Thank you. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Bye.
So great to hear from Quinton Schwarzenberger, not of course Simon Gigenheim. You can tell all of that excitement. It has really absolutely fried everything here. It's brilliant to see such great racing by Ryan Hakin bin Luckman, and then Messersit Busani, Simon Gigenheim, and Quinton Schwarzenberger. So here we go, our flower ceremony for our men's competitors. A third place here, great riding by tight rider Messersit Busani. Gets a handshake on from world champion Simon Gigenheim. Mr. Moustache pushed into second place. And it's been a great weekend so far for the French in mountain biking. If you haven't caught up with what happened in the men's downhill, make sure you watch it. But look at this, Quinton Schwarzenberger making it a great weekend here in Indonesia for the French. Quinton Schwarzenberger, the race winner, and again another great points haul by him and Gigenheimer. But some amazing riding by our local riders here on the local course, and great to see now that will have pushed and changed the standings somewhat. So at the top of the standings, Simon Gigenheimer leapfrogs back over Titouan Perrin-Gagné, with Quinton Schwarzenberger in third place, and again extends his lead over Klausman. Klausman not having a great finals here. Hauser, Niolo suffering despite making the trip. Olsen and Linda same, and it shows you just how good our two series leaders have been. Titouan Perrin-Gagné taking the lead in the first round, getting it back the last round, and then being flipped over the top.
And congratulations, your first ever UCI World Cup win. How big is this for you?
Ouais, je suis vraiment content. Vraiment un circuit incroyable avec un accueil inoubliable. C'est vraiment un voyage de fou. J'étais là dans l'optique de venir chercher une victoire. J'ai dit à mon team manager, à mes parents, je me suis dit je reviens avec la victoire en France. Je fais 4 au chrono, je fais une petite erreur. Je suis à 1 seconde de la gagne, je me dis que c'est un mouchoir de poche. Et je fais tout le circuit dans la roue de Simon Gigenheimer. Et je me suis dit que j'étais plus fort dans le Perrier. Donc je prends un petit peu d'avance. Et je me suis dit il faut que je double avant les rondins. C'est chose faite et la victoire elle est là.
So Quentin's very happy to win here in front of this incredible crowd. He made a little mistake in the time trial, but in the final heat he did the right thing to pass Simon Gigenheimer. Where did you pass Simon?
J'ai fait tout le circuit dans sa roue et après le gros saut de la passerelle, je me suis dit que c'était maintenant ou jamais. Je savais que j'étais vachement plus fort dans le technique que lui. Je me suis dit ça passe ou ça casse. C'est passé, puis je sors dans le virage en premier, je relance et la victoire elle est là.
So he passed Simon on the technical part. He knew he had to do it there, and then he was first through the turn, and then victory is there. Congratulations, man! Enjoy.
Merci, vive la France! Allez les Bleus!
So amazing to hear from him, and the abilities to speak multiple languages will be appreciated. Well over 200 languages in Palangkaraya, but my speciality is only the English feet, which I have to say is probably a good job, because I certainly can't speak 200 different languages. Amazing venue, some amazing racing, some great work done by everybody on site to make the racing happen here in Palangkaraya. A great venue to come back to. I hope we're back once again. Don't forget, we're back next week in India, and we have 3 more rounds to go. Let Paris and Winterberg before our World Championships in Barcelona. It's been an absolute pleasure to put words to some amazing action here today, and I've got to say, I hope to see you again soon, hopefully next week. My name's Matt Payne. We'll see you soon. Thank you.